Today, I'm going to unbox and take a look at Bonaparte's Eastern Empire. This is by Andrew Rourke, who kind of publishes his own game. I believe he's got his own publishing arm that does this, small publisher. I reached out to him after seeing some of his other games and seeing this one getting ready to be released. So this was, a few months ago. And he was kind enough to say, "Yeah, when this gets into production, I'll get you a copy." And lo and behold, I got a copy of this. I had been traveling, well, several several trips over the last 2 or 3 weeks, um, and this was waiting for me when I got home. My family had pulled it off the doorstep and left it for me to unbox, and now I'm here for you to see it be the shrink ripped off and it be unboxed as well. What are we talking about here? Well, this is Napoleon, right? But this is in Egypt, and there's not a ton of games that cover Napoleon's Egypt campaign. I believe I think it was a Strategy and Tactics magazine war game that I have that covers it. There might be some scenarios in some scenario-based games that cover it, but not a lot out there. So when I saw this definitely interested me. This is called Limits of Glory, Campaign 1. So I don't know if this is going to be a line of games from Mr. Rourke, covering, Napoleonic battles or battles of that period. But, this is Campaign 1 right here, as it says. Let's take a look at the back of the box and see what it says here. It is 1798, and Bonaparte's army and accompanying Savants leave Toulon, Genoa, and Civitavecchia aboard the French combined fleets. Can he avoid the Royal Navy in the Mediterranean, then continue through all the conquests, explorations, hardships, and disappointments of the campaign? Will it end with the final surrender of the remains of his army, or will he succeed in creating an Eastern Empire? Face his challenge of creating a French empire in the Middle East and rewrite history, or defeat Bonaparte to ensure Britain's allies retain control of this important gateway to the East. Bonaparte's Eastern Empire is the first game in the Limits of Glory series and explores the impact of skill and luck on Napoleon Bonaparte's invasion of Egypt. All very nice there. Game components, 23 by 16 mounted map board, 10 wooden pawns, 8 dice, 4 counter sheets, wow. 1 event clock, 1 combat table, 2 command charts, 40-page rule book. This is 2 players, but it says suitable for solo. Time is 90 to 180 minutes, and ages 14 plus. Complexity is moderate. And I think we have 4 square games there. I think that's the publishing arm of Mr. Rourke here, if I am correct there. And you can see an example of the map there. Let's go in a little bit more, but we'll get a better look when we get inside the box there. So it looks like there's going to be some area control. Maybe we have some tracks here. Interesting, or area movement, I should say. All right, so let's go them out a little bit and see what is in this box. I've been really anxious to see what is inside this box. All the way from the UK. That is where Mr. Rourke is headquartered, I believe. All right. Good quality box. It's not your super thick box, but it's not bad. Good quality box there. All right, we get some dice here. We have some wooden pawns in yellow, blue, kind of a purple and red. 1 blue, 1 red. I would imagine maybe to represent the French and the British. And then you got a purple and a yellow. I'll put those down here. Then we have the rule book. Whoa, nice thick rule book here. Here's the quick reference. So somewhat of a, excuse me, I've got the cough back. Somewhat of a glossary here, maybe. So 11 is accompanying commanders. 9 is success, so you kind of look up you kind of can see what you want to look up and then go to the page, I would imagine. Let's take a look at this rule book here. It charts out at 39 pages, well, 40 with the quick reference, but 39 pages. This is some explanation of the events. So explanation of the events start on page 35. Mamluks changing sides on 34. Bonaparte returns on 33. Siege of Malta. So a lot of, and it's, as you can see, it's very large type. So don't let the 40-page rule book scare you. This is larger type than normal. It's dual column, full color, but easier on the eyes with the larger font size. So that takes up most of your 40 pages, is just the font size there. Let's see how it's organized here. So we have the contents, definitions, component list, setup, how to win, limits of glory system. So this is some of the system, core system rules, movement, Bedouin, sequence of play, invasion phase, disembarkment phase, conquest phase, Bonaparte returns, Mamluks changing sides, victory conditions, explanation of events, and quick reference. So we saw all those as we were going backwards, as I am apt to do. Definitions. Here's your component list, and this is kind of nice because it lays it out as you would kind of set it up, where you would put things as you would set up the game. With the board, map and board in the middle. We have some markers and other things off to the side here. What do they call those things? Round element markers for some of these things. Anyway, we'll see that when we get inside the box. Here's your setup. French player, allied player. How to win. So as you can see, large type. So, how to win is really a little over a page, but in any other font, it would be less than a page. Here's limits of glory system, talking a little bit about the mechanics. Here's movement. As you can see, it's kind of area movement. Not kind of, it is. Bedouin. Here's sequence of play. Disembarkation table. Interesting there. I wonder if there's another standalone of that in the box. Be helpful, maybe possibly. Conquest phase. Wow. Interesting system. Just really does look interesting. So that is the rule book. Here's some of these charts that we saw. Here's the Allied command chart, and this is on typical player aid paper, very thick paper, single-sided because you'll leave this off to the side. Because this is telling you, you've got some dice rolls here. So very nice. I wonder if this is a staging area for counters as well. I have to read up on the system. French command chart. Again, on the thick paper. Here is this is a thick board. That's a nice thick board there. Very nice. This is your combat chart, pretty much. Total combat value, French with or without a commander, all nations levels, Mamluk commander, Ottoman commander, British commander, and no allied commander. Then you're going to cross-reference and see what your hits are. So very nice there. I like that board. Then we've got, another thick board. Look at that. Very thick. We have a die out to the side here. So this is interesting. I wonder how this works. It's kind of giving you results of stuff. So very interesting. This is going to be an interesting system to get into. This is definitely a different look. Well, here's the counters. I'm going to have to open those up. This is definitely a different perspective on Napoleonic campaign or battles. And you know me if you've seen my channel, or the introduction to my channel. I'm all about different perspectives. I'm trying to get this started. The counters are individually, they're wrapped together, but they are wrapped inside the box. I'm all about different perspectives, looking at history and mainly military history in a different light. And that's one thing I love about games, is they give you that opportunity to look at even some battles that we know a whole lot about, but looking at them in a different way, or simulating them in a different way with different mechanics. And this one definitely looks like it has different mechanics in how it's doing its simulation. So they're black on the back, so they're not double-sided. But they are a good thickness. They are a decent thickness there. But here are the counters. So we have some of these flags here. I wonder if these flags will overlay on this board here. And we have round counters, and then we have square counters. So really interesting how this is going to be. This is the this sheet 1, and I imagine this is the Mamluks. Then we've got the British, I would imagine, here. Then we have the French, or at least the circular ones. So those must be leaders. And then the units are the square, I would imagine. There is Bonaparte. He's got like 3. Interesting what that is. Here's the cities they're coming from, I believe. So interesting looking counters. So let's look at the back of this board here. The board itself has something on the back. It's got the company logo, I believe. So we'll look at the back first to give the company some props. There's 4 square games. Within the map itself is a mounted board, good thickness. Let's look at it this way, maybe. And not an oversized map. It's not one of these that's going to take up a lot of table space. But again, you have these other charts or mounted player aids that need to go off to the side as well. There we go. There's a good view of it. So we've got a lot of areas here. And here are those areas in Italy where Bonaparte is coming from, where the French are coming from. And we have a whole lot of tracks over here. So this track goes, it's interesting, it's a dual track till you get to 14, then it goes to a single track to go to 50. So interesting how that's going to, I wonder if that's where you keep track of your leaders or their strengths. I'm not sure, because they're round and the leaders are round. So I'm trying to put this together. Again, I have to read these rules, which don't look overly complicated. So it should be good. But they're definitely different. This is a different kind of game. You have some charts here, or some in the Suez and Cairo, that you have this like a track above it, or some kind of notation. It's got a 6, 4, 8, 9 in Cairo, and this is a 2, 1, 2, 5. 1 is blue, 1 is red, I imagine, for the British and the French, and then looks like it's gray and green in the middle, so maybe that's the Ottomans or the Mamluks, or the other force there. There's numbers in all these different areas as well. And some have anchors. I assume that are ports. And we have some buildings as well. I think these are for like the cities, like Cairo, Giza, and of course Alexandria. So there you have it. That is the board. Here are the counters that come with the game. 4 sheets, good thickness, single-sided. Then you have these other boards, you know, a couple of these really thick boards. I'm gonna move these off to the side here so you can see more of the stuff that comes in here. You've got your combat tables. Then you have these charts, command charts in here as well. You get the rule book, you get the dice. So all told here, all said and done, quite a bit in this box. This is an interesting looking game. As I said, presents a different look at a conflict that's not looked at quite enough, at least in my opinion. Bonaparte's Egypt campaign. So very excited to get into this. Once I get through the rules and get it to the table a few times, I will do an after-action report and talk a little bit about my thoughts on this. But again, I want to thank Andrew for sending me this copy. Please all take a look at his games, and especially this one that's just coming out. You might find something you haven't seen before and something that might interest you. So anyway, thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.